I am very thankful all of you are here. I'll just recap quickly that this product showed up on my radar about 6 or 7 months ago now. And then Kat came to me. Kat is in Bali. After seeing what a few doctors were doing there and how it was dramatically changing lives, especially from the fast deterioration of health that we're seeing globally. This is a product that's been on the market for 12 years. It's relatively still a new company. But the main focus of the Asea Redox is cellular health. So when the world's health just went to shit the last year, a lot of practitioners started paying attention when they were seeing this little redox molecule make such a difference on people's deterioration. I was merely trying it just to see how it worked. But my friends and family who have suffered, of course, I was looking at all the solutions out there. So I bought it and, asked Kat, I bought it and sold it or sent it to everyone I knew, that I loved. And I was like, you need to try this now. And I was just blown away, literally, guys, blown away with what we were seeing. Now, I don't need to be a medical doctor to understand that people were sick and then not sick, okay? And I understand that the market is flooded with a bunch of noise in this space. There's always some new skincare line or CBD thing or back pain. And the last thing I want to do is waste anybody's time on another sales gimmick. That's not how I roll. And this is not what these calls are about. I feel a strong obligation to share this information. And because this company has made it a person-to-person kind of distribution model, Kat came to me to tell me about it. And I'm so thankful she did. And literally, we've shared it with a few of you in this channel and our Redox channel. And what's so incredible is that people, they don't have to wait 20 years to use some, thousands of dollars on a skincare line to see a difference. They're seeing a difference in days. And, and weeks, and one of my girlfriends recently called me and she was like, thank you so much. You've taken years off my skin in a matter of days. Now, another skincare product, okay, some of you may not be so excited about, but for those who are struggling, but for those that love skincare, you know that when you find a good product, there's nothing you won't do to get more of that product. And for those that have had real serious health issues, this product has done wondrous things. I've seen it with my own eyes. And that's why I said, I don't care how we sell this, how we get this out. The message is too good. We can't be quiet about this. We have an obligation to share. So I know there's other health and wellness products, and then there's Asea Redox. And this is why we're having this conversation to talk about how this product works. So I wanted to share today with Kat. Kat, do you want to say something before you start your presentation?
Yes, thanks, Jen. It's great to be here. Hi, everybody. Really, thanks so much for joining us. And I'm just so excited and feel very blessed that we get to share this. Like Jen said, when you understand the significance of this and what it does for people, you really are obligated to share it. You don't have to. You feel like, my goodness, who could benefit? It's just so many people. And I've been blessed to be working with Asea for 7 years now, pretty much. And it's been absolutely life-changing. This part, everyone will take about 20 minutes, and then we can have some Q&A afterwards. So it's not long, but it's just going to really give you a great overview. Just to show you a little bit tell you a little bit of my story. I didn't think I was looking for this 7 years ago when I was back in Australia. Just recently closed a whole food organic cafe. I'm a naturopath by background, and whole food and wholesome living is my passion. But you can see here, this is my family, some of the things we get to do. Jen, there's my daughter. We were talking about that earlier, this lovely organic farmers program that my kids go to and just get to have all sorts of wonderful experiences. But it really is about creating the life you love. And for me, that was about being able to travel and live remotely, and my kids are homeschooled, not been to school, and the freedom to do that. And I didn't think I was looking for another business, but some friends called me and asked me to take a look at this. They knew I was a naturopath, and he had a very compelling story that it had literally saved his life. And I knew he'd been dealing with this cellular breakdown for a long time. And I dug in and I started to join the dots, if you like. This really is like the missing link. And I was reading about the impact on glutathione, which some of you may have heard of, is the master antioxidant, that it really is the body's broom, how we cleanse, and that drinking these molecules enabled the body to use 800% of its own glutathione, and 800% more. And that was mind-blowing to me. It's not you're taking glutathione, drinking glutathione, having an IV of glutathione, which is really good, and you know, lots of people doing that now. But this, you drink this blue bottle here, what's in this blue bottle, and your body can clean itself, can use up to 800% of more of its own glutathione. To me, as a naturopath, that was mind-blowing. And I really understood then this was not, as Jen just said to you, this is not like anything else, okay? This is really a game changer. And so I jumped in, got started on the products, got my family on them, started sharing them with people. A naturopathic doctor that I knew, he got all his patients on it, and we all began to discover what the power of this. And this is going back, as I love how you put that, Jen, before the world's health went to shit. And we've been heading that way with the great poisoning for quite a long time. What are redox signaling molecules? You probably never heard of them before. I hadn't. Most of us haven't, but we've got our systems, organs, tissues, and 75 trillion cells, redox signaling molecules inside the cell, made by the mitochondria. There you can see the little power plant of the cell. That's the energy production. And we are made of salt and water, right? When we cry, it's salt. When we sweat, it's salt. So it all sort of starts to make sense. And this really is foundational to healthy cell signaling throughout the body. This was really key to me in understanding, as I said, the significance. Redox signaling molecules are native to your body. Imagine you're having a beautiful organic blueberry. That is so good for you, full of bioflavonoids and super nutrients, but you don't make blueberries. When we eat them, we have to metabolize them, and the body has to work out what to do with them. These molecules are native. That's just incredible. So your body knows what to do with them. To understand the signaling, this communication between the cells, imagine if your house is on fire and you needed to call the fire department, but you couldn't get a good signal on your phone. They wouldn't be able to know where to go. That's exactly what happens in our bodies. So once you replenish the levels of these molecules, there's amplification of the signal, and we can direct the cellular healing. It's really that simple. Asea have a patented 3-step process. This is the secret sauce. Taking pristine salt water, like we said, is found inside your cells. Then it's broken down, and by step 3, this takes 3 days, restructured into stabilized redox signaling molecules. Also, there was importantly, a genetic study done a few years ago, and this was on 8 ounces a day. We kind of call that the sweet spot, really, of the amount to take. And for 8 weeks, it was double-blind, placebo-controlled, and was remarkable, and showing how this actually turns genes on. And we've got 5 important, really important gene signaling pathways. And these 5 areas of health: hormones, immune system, inflammatory response, cardiovascular, healthy digestion. I think you can really understand why this is so important. Now, seeing is believing, and it's wonderful because we have this gel that Jen loves so much. the Renew 28 gel. Very, very handy because we can see things. Jen said, you know, some of her friends within a couple of days are noticing quite profound changes in the skin and outside, and that allows us to really grasp what's happening on the inside. Pictures speak louder than words. And look at this lady's chin in 21 days. She actually didn't really think anything was happening. So important to take that before picture so you can compare it and really see what's happening. This gentleman's a research veterinarian. He said, I'm not sure about this. I'm just going to put it on one side of my face for a month, for 28 days. And you can see there, look at the lift of his glasses, everything has just moved up. And it's entirely different on that right side. Down here, just some really great images there of blemishes and the creases diminishing. Now, this is a friend of mine who was also very skeptical when he came across it. He's an engineer, and he said, I am going to not drink it, I'm just going to spray it. So you can put Asea in a spray bottle, you spray it anywhere. And he sprayed it for nearly 2 weeks. This is back in September 2018, and incredible difference. He was, okay, right, I've got to drink this. And so he's been using that ever since and sharing it also with the people around him. This little girl, little poppet, you know, that's such an uncomfortable thing that kids can get. That's just in 3 days, the change there. Incredible. And I love this picture down on the bottom right. Look at the lady's chin and the lift on that chin. And of course, these marks here, she happily saw a big change there as well. And you can go ahead, if people say, you might go on the internet and say, this is just expensive salt water. You can take some flowers, put them in salt water and see what happens. Put them in water and then look at that in the Asea. Go and do it yourself. We love this story too. This is Rosie. She was 84 when her medical doctor's son came across Asea and told her he wanted her to take it. That's in 7 weeks. That's at 4 ounces of the liquid a day and using 2 tubes of the gel every month. And now she's literally slowed down the aging process, reversed aging, and she's in her early 90s now. And look at that smile. Is that really the same person? So you can imagine what's happening on the inside as well. So we had that, Jen, beautiful story today from one of the people in your channel. Did you want me to just share it? Because this is one of the people in our Redox channel. He said, David, I recently bought a Asea Redox for my dad, 90 years old with memory challenge and poor mobility. Within a week, his mobility improved and he was less confused. Dad was spending a couple of days at a time not moving from his chair, this is before, and he hadn't ventured into the garden for a couple of months. He can now stand up unaided and sit in the garden for hours at a time. He's getting my name right first time and even cracks the odd joke. Very important for an Irishman. And Mum says it's a miracle, and love and thanks to Jennifer. So these are the kind of things that we hear every day, and you can see it there in front of your eyes with Rosie. Oh, we all love to see a bit of a change in cellulite, and this was a study that was done, and you can see the powerful changes there, and increasing in elasticity and the decrease in that adipose fat. That was done by dermatest on wrinkles, really significant stuff. And they gave Renew 28 their 5-star guarantee. I think Jen's given it a 10-star guarantee. This also, just as we finish up here, I think this is really, really important to share. Some from a colleague of mine, a naturopathic doctor who does live blood analysis, that we can see the slide there on the left. All of those cells are stuck together, really sticky, coagulated. We gave this person just 4 ounces of Asea and took their blood again 10 minutes later, and you can see that impact of the oxygenation and the movement in the cells pretty much back to normal in just 10 minutes. Powerful, powerful stuff. So that is all of my slides for the minute. Jen, I was going to say, it would be great to just a little moment to share some of the things that you've noticed in your family.
Well, I immediately bought it for family members that I knew that were struggling with neuropathy, which is the, I guess, cardiovascular nervous system. I mean, this seems to be a chronic, common issue with people as they age. So a family member who is in their 70s that is been struggling with this, I mean, it's just paid every kind of pharma medical yuck, prescription, and, has tried various red light, Beamer. These things have been, just to try different things. But really, what has been the game changer has been the Renew. And another family friend of mine, she gave this to her, I think it was her 87-year-old mother, who again was struggling with brain issues, not being able to remember sentences or finish, so there was something happening with her mind. And then within the last month has helped clear up those issues. Now, some of us in our channel have had family members like this, and I am so thankful that they were willing to try out. So we're still waiting to hear how the family members, but that one story of the 90-year-old, I mean, that makes my day. I mean, really, this is what it's about. We shouldn't have to live with this chronic pain and inflammation. I mean, I keep hearing about diabetes and everybody watching their blood sugar levels. Another friend of mine who's got serious issues with diabetes and the glucose levels, spikes in blood, et cetera. They, have been trying this, and it's been slowly giving them more equilibrium so they're not all over the place with their blood levels. And so I've been aggregating all the information we've been sharing in these channels, because I realize or in our One Redox channel, because I realize it does get quite overwhelming to, where do you need it for? What I have, I'm healthy. Why do I need this? But then when you start thinking of how everybody is made up of cells, all of us, and whatever oxidative stress we're going through, whatever, whether it's the air we're breathing, the food, the toxins in the food, or the crap we're injecting in ourselves, or the years of pills that we've been taking, to treat symptoms, not the roots of the problem. Once you try the solution that actually addresses the root and gets back to the mitochondrial and repairs the cell inside out, I mean, there's nothing on the market, nothing that does this. There was someone in the channel that challenged me around the use of NAC, like, oh yeah, the NAC, why would you need Asea if you could just use NAC? I don't believe it's an either or. I've been using NAC for forever, always. I mean, I've always used it back in the, because it's one of the, one of those supplements that can help repair the cells. The difference here is that when you're taking the Renew or the Asea Redox, your body's learning how to produce and repair the cells inside out. It's the only patented technology that creates the redox molecule within the cell versus being absorbed into the cell. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
A lot of times for those that struggle, and I am one of them, taking a boatload of supplements and you're in your stomach feeling kind of yuck. There's a microbiome thing there that, it's not everybody can just, pop pills. And I was one of them. I always struggled. I hate taking a bunch of pills, vitamin D, but, everybody. And because we're not getting the food, nutrition from our food, the emphasis on more supplements, and I just, it's very expensive. It's costly. And no one likes that sick feeling of taking like 17 pills every meal. So, and that was my mother who just flat out refused to take anything I gave her. And I sent her everything. Now, again, on the NAC thing, while I love this, it is a supplement. And if you don't take it with a full meal, then it doesn't feel so great on your gut. And at least it didn't for me. And I also can't stand the idea of having to, get out the pills for every meal. That's just annoying. Where I love this Asea Redox, because first thing in the morning, and I tell my mother this, 8 ounces without coffee, before coffee, without water, don't brush your teeth, just let it absorb into your cells. Try it with 8 ounces, feel the difference over, give yourself 3 months. make a commitment. How important is your health to you? How important is it for you to stay healthy? It's almost like two different things, right? People automatically say, oh yeah, I really care about health. Do you? Do you know what's in your food? Do you know what you're breathing? Do you know what, so I mean, I lived in England. I know how it is to just get used to eating whatever's packaged, and put out in front of you. And especially in America, I mean, it's just talk about toxic poison, literally in everything we eat and consume. So having something like Asea that can, relieve the gut of any kind of bloating issues, that help your digestion, that repair the mitochondrial, the flora and fauna, the microbiome in your belly, and then also in your blood. It is such a game changer, guys. This is such a game changer. And when this toxic, health degeneration, and we started seeing such a dramatic decline of health, obviously certain practitioners started paying attention to what else they could apply and use. And immediately with the Asea Redox, they were able to physically see it with the blood tests they were doing, like Kat wonderfully showed us a minute ago, as far as keeping the blood healthy, but then also being able to repair the damaged cells. I mean, you can see this. This is not something you need a medical degree for, or, sure, you might need a scan, a bit of equipment, but you don't, this isn't some, above your IQ to see with your own eyes and feel with your own body. So that's why it was one of these things that I didn't have anything necessarily that was plaguing me to basically try out, but I knew the people that did, and I insisted they tried it, just for me, mom, please try it. We have to, we as the people that know better, or that, that see these kind of things, that know, what is in store. I feel a very strong obligation to share. I'm not asking for permission because I don't have a medical degree. I see the effects that it has on the people I love. And this is why it was such a big issue to get out. So I just keep asking everyone that I sent it to, make this commitment of 3 months at least to put into your body. Don't just write it off. This isn't just a get healthy quick, scheme. This is not as amazing as it is. The body needs time to repair itself. It's not an overnight success. Although when you start using this cream, I mean, this one, everybody needs. I mean, I am obsessed with this little blue tube of magic. This wasn't just about, beautiful skin. This is about detoxing and replenishing and repairing, restoring, all these things happens when you just take care of your cellular health. And it makes me quite angry, actually, that most doctors don't have a clue about this. So when I came into the company, you can ask Kat, I wasn't exactly quiet or shy or timid about my opinions on this, because I entered Asea saying, whatever you guys have done for the last 12 years, we got to do it like 10 times more, in the next 12 years. I want this out everywhere. I want it in every doctor's office across all nations, because I really believe that, we need to make products affordable and easy to get to. And people, with the more and more people are using this, the more research and data is being collected around this, can almost guarantee that in the next 10 years, enough information will come out to show how this product is, one of the best ways to heal and repair people's health. I know there's a lot of stuff going on right now, you guys. I get it. The noise is off the charts. Another med bed. Trust me, when the real med beds are out, I will find them and I will tell you which ones are good, because I'm all over that. And, biohealers, and, I'm actually not interested in more sales pitches. I wanted something that really did what it said on the tin, and that I could see with the people I loved. Not, a bunch of statistics, not strange faces from a brochure. I don't care about the sales pitch. This company has all that for those that love that stuff, but that wasn't what I was interested in. When I, joined Asea and I started talking with Kat and we started talking with the corporate people of this company, I was very clear with where this goes. And it might be peer-to-peer right now, but the reason why it's peer-to-peer is because this company has done everything in its power to step away from the confines of the pharmaceutical restraints. You guys know when you do clinical trials, when you bring in a medicine, any kind of medicine in, on out to the public, you have to do a lot of stuff to prove that it is what it says it is. And, Asea is doing all that and stands on its own science. It doesn't want to be bought out. It doesn't want to dilute its product. I've said this on the last call, but I still can't stress this point enough. Most companies, especially ones that are successful and have done so well, like Asea has, will branch out and build, as much, production houses globally as they can to obviously increase their bottom line. They are a corporate business, so they want to increase profit. There's nothing wrong with that. But many times when companies do this, they either get bought out or they merge, or there's an acquisition, with a larger corporate entity that usually turns the original ingredients into shit. I mean, we've seen it over and over. Burt's Bees, Derma E, every most clean company, like brands that I've used at some point come across a buyout, a merger and acquisition that turns whatever integrity they had, whatever truth, good products they had into some bottom line margin that just cheapens it. Asea won't do that. There's one place in the world that produces this product. Sure, they ship it everywhere. The point is there's only one place that they make it, because they will not for a second tolerate anybody getting in, diluting, compromises. They do not want anybody speaking about their science. Their science speaks for itself. And now, as we've seen this dramatic rise of deterioration of health, so many people have paid attention to this science. They're now doing their own double-blind placebo tests around this, which last time when I mentioned this, guys, I wasn't aware that Asea, the corporate company, has nothing to do with the double-blind placebo tests that are being done right now, which is so beautiful, because that means there's zero conflict of interest. There's no, back payments, or there's no people profiting off of skewing the science and results one way or another. No, these are individual, and I'm sure Kat can maybe say a bit more than I get. They're individual research labs that have seen the results. And in order to get the kind of resource for that gold standard testing, you need to have real data. So this is not something that is being fluffed about. These are not inflated statistics to make their sales margins even better. When I entered the company, or when I started talking to this company, my remit here was to bring out the wider distribution channels. So obviously I wanted to talk to all the doctors already using the product, the doctors that have yet to use the product, the doctors that are, looking for other new ways to heal their patients. Because like I said, I think it needs to be in every doctor's office across the nation. And I think there should be more, more discussion and education around the importance of cellular health. Not garbage prescriptions, not reliance on people paid to keep you sick. This was my problem with the security. Just to use this as an example, when I entered security, I was, not quiet at all about the crap that most of the security companies were offering on the market. They were offering you penetration services, basically keeping you insecure and depending on them every 6 months to come back and use their services. Like, what's the point? So what we did was try to teach their companies to build their own security teams to do this themselves. This is what we're doing. Asea teaches your cells to make this so much, make this yourself. And I won't buy any other skincare product anymore. Forget it. It's all garbage. I'm not buying any more supplements. Now, keep in mind, that's me. I'm not giving medical advice. Everybody has their own body. You decide what you need and what you want to use. But because this Asea has worked so well for me, I don't need anything else. I still love arnica, kaleido silver, elderberry, grapefruit seed extract, vitamin C, vitamin D. All those things are great. And, we still have them in the house. But my everyday go-to, will not live without ever again, is this Asea Redox and this blue tube of magic. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys, because, I'm not going to waste your time on hogwash. I'm not going to sit here and peddle crap to you. I don't care. That's not my MO here. This is an MLM style company. You can ask Kat when I first, because I said, where's the doctor giving this out? And she goes, actually, you just buy it from other people. And I went, oh gosh, most people have an allergy to this, especially in the UK. And I don't understand why. But in the next 10 years, I mean, I do understand a lot of companies have sold crap products, but then, I refer back to places where I've been, in California, there's amazing companies that, these women have worked for, and they sell these products because they know they're much better than anything you'd buy in some big factory warehouse. And that's what it comes down to, the people interaction. So not only was I, do I see Asea becoming more mainstream because of its, its effects and the data that's being produced, but I also see people just not having any more, not having the same trust in the medical communities as they used to. They do not trust the pharma pedal pusher, poison pushers so we're going to need to go back to people. And for those that are struggling and really need, that want that guidance, and someone, there are amazing doctors, Dr. Sam, Emma Burbosh? Emma's on our channel. There's a lot of different naturopaths and integrative functional medicine doctors that are using this because they see the effects it has. So you can talk to them about it. And we have a link here, but we're looking to kind of strengthen that coalition of medical practitioners so that, wherever you are, you can always find a place to go in and talk to someone about it or get it on hand, because I think it's too important to be doing it, the quiet way. Like I want to stand on the top of the hills and shout about it, because we don't have to live with this chronic pain. We don't have to live in a world dependent on medical professionals who are paid to peddle certain, new medicine, right? You're not an experiment. You don't need to play with your health like this. Now is the time to understand the importance of cellular health. And when you repair those cells in your body, you don't get sick and your skin looks amazing because of it. But yeah, and you guys, I love talking about this. I wanted to create this call, the ability for people to ask questions for those that want to build a business. I told Kat, I'm happy to speak out about this, but I have a security business, and I do this because I love it. But for some of you, this might be right up your alley to really, add an extra passive residual income to your to your family and your weekly take home. And Kat, can you talk about that? Because you're the one that really started from nothing with this and has done, can we tell them about, you're doing so well. And I just love it because all you're doing is sharing, truth and integrity. Like we shouldn't have an allergy here, guys, because we need to trust each other on this. And there's plenty of patents and science to back up what is being said. So there's absolute transparency here. There's nothing. I mean, ask Kat. Every other week, I'm like, what about this? And she calls the corporate company and we have a chat. I've never, ever met a company so willing to discuss and talk and work. Because I love that. I love that kind of environment. Yeah. So am I talking too much? Do you want to tell us about your business?
No. I love it. I think, Jen, there's never been a more important time to have, choices around how you earn your income. So many people have been mandated and had requirements or lost businesses that have shut down, unprecedented. I had a whole food organic cafe, as I said, in Australia, and it was hard enough running that business back in 2013, let alone now. My goodness gracious. And so to be able to, as you said, either add some extra to what you're already doing or look at actually pivoting into something new, so many people are looking for that. And for my family, if we hadn't had this business, my husband's work all disappeared. He worked in television production. And he was on the Formula One, actually, when everything started to change in the world in Melbourne. And they put the track up and then they said, pull it down, there's no race. And all of his work just disappeared. The whole summer of sport and broadcast and television production was gone. And that's so many people have had similar experiences. And then came the mandates, and then came the requirements to keep, your job. And so this offers us choice. and freedom around how we generate income. And it all comes from helping other people. And there's nothing quite like that. Like you said, Jen, when you read that message in the channel just before, and you said that made my day. You know, it's a wonderful thing. Say, I know if something could actually help your dad, are you willing to give it a try? And it can't hurt him. It absolutely can't hurt anybody, because we make it, as we said, in every cell of our body. And it just might help, and it does. And so that is a wonderful, wonderful way to build a life. I showed you that slide at the beginning, you know, what that's meant for me and my family. And it's just about meeting people where they're at and what they want, making friends, making connections, like you and I got to know each other, and what's important to somebody, and then offering them a solution. And that's what we do. And in my case, the business has grown globally. It's a you know, a large network through which the product flows, because this is a consumable product. There are 60% of all Asea sales are what we call auto ship or subscription. So that tells you this is a product that people purchase month after month, year after year. It's a legitimate, consumable, sustainable product. And as you said, you can't do without it. And that's the feeling. So I absolutely love it. And getting to, in terms of the business, people who want to understand how it works and help them begin their business and get them on the right track. And, you know, we know what works as a business system. We know what's successful. When I started my cafe and I put 6 figures into that, nobody showed up to help me. Nobody. We were completely on our own. I mean, our friends and family were supporting us and happy for us, but it buck stops with you. And in a business like Asea, you have all the support that you need and people who've gone before you, and you can link arms together. And there's real power. That's the community. That's the creating the world the way that we want it. You know, like-minded people coming together to share something so powerful. I get to do that every day. I'm so grateful. Jen, we could just, if you like, show the Real Redox results page and have Vic or Louise or somebody here pick one of the stories. They're like 4 to 5 minute stories. I think that would be a wonderful way to finish up, because these are so, would that be okay?
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions though? So, I mean, just feel free to raise your hand, or if there's something you want to know that we're not answering, we'd love to just, so, I mean, don't be shy, in other words.
Just I was gonna, Telegram channel, if they can comment back in the main post, any questions, then I can read them back through.
Thank you, Vic.
Fantastic. Well, and somebody just asked before, how do we order the product? And I popped Jen's link for Asea in the chat there, and I'll post it again in the channel just so everybody knows where to get that. But Vic, do you want to pick one of, can you see on the left there, these different health challenges? Do you want to pick one of those and we'll have a look?
I'd love to look at the improved blood sugar levels, kidney function and skin texture, because I think especially when it comes to diabetes and things like that, and diet, fantastic. I think that's really important.
Like, is out the use on children. So I want to answer this because I've been using this on my child, and you've got 3 children. And Vicky, share your story. So we are talking about elderly. Yes. I mean, as we age, we produce less glutathione and our cells are less agile, et cetera, less silica. I mean, all these less APT, collagen, et cetera. So naturally the body slows down. But for children, one of the things, while they have a lot of this stuff, I find this is suitable for all ages. And it's something I've been using on my 4-year-old. So my girlfriend came with her kids. We spent the day in the sun. They were burnt like little lobsters. And within an hour, they were fine. The skin had repaired. Like struggling at the temperature, so that was one. Also fevers. So we don't really get a lot of fevers, but there was recently my daughter had a fever and we used this on her temples, forehead, chest, spine, and feet. I also gave a case to the school because I was like, stop getting these kids sick. So if there's like a cut or a, bleeding or any, bruise, put this on. It's like Arnica, but I think, better. So, and then the other main thing that I want to address, in what ways it helped me personally, I'm going to answer that directly to you if I can, Catherine, DM wise, because I'm not ready yet to share my news publicly, but I will if you ask me directly. So,
okay.
For the children, a girlfriend of mine whose son had autism and had a bunch of stuff going on in his brain. There's a lot of talk in science around how this can help heal ADD, autism. We're not making any claims here, but for those that have been using this long term on their children, have seen better behavioral changes and, strengthening of verbal skills, et cetera, et cetera. I know we can use it for babies as well. You want to add
a newborn baby to, as we saw our friend's 90-year-old father getting out in the garden more, from the fittest of the fit to the sickest of the sick and everyone in between, Olympic athletes to everybody can benefit. Should we have this one's 5 minutes, so Vic pick this one. We're going to see, and as you said, Jen, and you'll see the disclaimer here, this is not a treatment or a cure for any medical condition. We don't make any claims. We can't. It's just empowering the body to heal itself.
Okay, hey, now we get to our favorite part of the call. I am joined by Gary from Aubrey, Texas. Gary, hey, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. This is not your first time on this call, Gary. About a year or so ago, you came on here. You'd only been on the product for about 4 months, and you shared some pretty amazing things that were happening with you, both with the gel and then the drink. But it's a year later now. You've been on the product, I think, about a year and a half. And again, things are continuing to happen. The improvements are continuing. So could you kind of go just back to the beginning, share with everybody kind of what was going on in your life when you stumbled across Asea, and some of your early results, and then now some of your later results? That would be great.
Thanks, Alan. I'm excited to share what's happened to me over the last year and a half. It's been quite a ride. I've suffered with high blood sugar for some time, probably 25, maybe 30 years. And all that would happen really was I just continue to increase the medications that the doctors prescribed for me to take, and they just got more and more. And I was to the point where when I joined Asea, I was giving myself 4 shots a day, actually, of insulin, to a total of 135 units. And I don't know whether that's a lot, but it's a lot to me. So I joined Asea, and I started drinking this wonderful substance, and not really knowing exactly what it was going to do for me. But here's what we found out: under 4 months of drinking Asea, and we were able to get my units of insulin down from 135 down to 80 units.
Wow.
And that was a major improvement. During that same time, I started using Renew 28. And when I used Renew 28, I had the ugliest arms. I played a lot of golf in my life, and I didn't wear a hat, and I wore short sleeves, and so my arms were kind of like the back of a desert lizard, and rough and bumpy and crusty and not very nice, really. And my wife put up with those, but she was the first to know it, because I had a big ugly spot on my arm, and I started putting Renew 28 on it, and all that went away, and that was wonderful. And something she liked and I liked, and so then now we go another year. And again, with doctors watching how much, what insulin that I'm taking. we were able to go from 80 units down to 20 units a day. They measure those out for me. I still see the doctor on a regular basis. I still do blood work on a regular basis. And from the care that I'm getting from the docs, the last time I call her my blood doctor, looked at my blood work, she used the terms outrageous as to how well we were doing. So at the same time, my kidneys were in trouble. And I had found out I was in what's called stage 3. And not only was I in stage 3, but I was bumping on the edge of the cliff to move over to stage 4 and then to phase 5, which are really not where you do not want to be. And so today, we've moved all the way back from that edge of that cliff. We're not close to stage 4 anymore. In fact, we're moved back to where now we're close to stage 2. And that's a wonderful reversal. So I just think this is a wonderful product. I'm happy that I'm part of Asea. I'm happy to be associated with you, Alan, and this group. And I'm looking forward to the next few years and what we're going to do together. So thanks, everybody.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it, Gary. Thank you so much for sharing. And I do appreciate you pointing out this was under doctor supervision. Asea is not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. We're simply feeding our body this really powerful redox. These are really powerful resource, these redox signaling molecules. And really what our body does with them is up to our body, but our body knows what to do with them. That's the key. So it's been incredible. I mean, what an amazing 4-month journey, and then add another year onto that, and it just keeps improving. So I love it, Gary. Thank you for sharing. Really appreciate your time here tonight.
Yeah, me too, Alan. Good to see you. Thanks a lot, man.
Well, this is a great video, but again, these are people that, we're just watching online and taking their word for it, that this is, and that's, there's lots of testimonies like that, but even in our channel, you guys scroll up, read through the people, just in our little group that have actually been using this and are seeing it on people that they know and love. I was asked why I use this. I think Catherine just asked me. I love anything that is cellular, and skin based. I love skin products, but for me, this was helping get back my energy and repair some of my cells, from my stomach, because I've had some surgeries and things. So it was, getting my body back up and running like it was, after my baby, because it was a terrible birthing experience. So I have scar tissue and all this, but I've been noticing a difference on my body itself and then my face and skin. And Vicky, do you want to share your little story?
I've kind of got 3. So the first one is the facial cream. I'm not going anywhere else. It's cleared up. I get really bad boils, which is hormonal. And it's actually cleared up all my scarring, which is just phenomenal. So this is like 4 weeks solid use now.
Or the other one?
That both. I do that first, and then the other one, I drown myself. Second, my daughter was suffering really bad with her eye, and it's cleared up her eye. And she was having, kept getting, oh gosh, I've lost the word. What's it called? Oh, impetigo. And it's cleared that up and redone her cells. But as of this morning, my son woke up with chickenpox. So we're currently doing a testing, and his back is being treated purely with Asea and the front with traditional products. The back already is not as itchy as the front, he said, which is amazing. So, and I'm doing photos every day to see, so we can, doing a little experiment of our own. But yeah, I use it on the kids, on the knees, anything, dry patches. Like you said, it's cleared up my daughter's face, because not only the impetigo, she was getting little dry patches everywhere. They've gone. It's brilliant.
Because it's working on repairing the cells, any kind of cellular membrane of the epidermis, so eczema, psoriasis, any kind of rosacea. It's really effective, and visibly so, when using it. Like we're saying, you don't need to use it for 2 years or even, months and months on end. They say drinking it, but I can almost, everybody everybody that's tried these things, try the gel, consistently and used, has seen it within a matter of weeks. But again, I'm not making any claims. Everybody's different, but it's such a powerful gel. And then this one is a little less, it's more like a creamy gel. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just amazing. So unlike a gel that would normally dry out your skin and make it crunchy, or that's not how these gels operate. They go right in and they moisturize.
So that's a great serum. And as a base for makeup, I use obviously that. I cleanse with the Renew Cleanser Foam first, and then I use that and the moisturizer, and then I just do a gentle primer now. I haven't even got I used to whack on the primer to try and blend out like all the lines. I don't even bother. I'm like, just a little dab. Whereas I used to thick. So for the ladies, sorry, or the gentlemen who like to wear it, you know, it's just a brilliant base for makeup as well.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So, I mean, literally there's been talk in the channel too. Again, you guys scroll up and read. I mean, several of our people have commented on it removes moles or any kind of, you know, I'm using it with scar tissue and kind of repairing my lower abdomen. And, you know, it's also great for varicose veins. I've noticed a difference with, you know, putting it on the veins. I don't know if it's like building back the cells on top, or this like increasing the epidermis, you know, thickening the skin again, or you know, if it's going to actually get rid of the veins altogether. I mean, I don't really care as long as it looks better. Also with cellulite, I mean, people have talked, there's lots of uses for cellulite. I can't say that I have noticed that yet because I have to keep using it. But yeah, I mean, these are things that people have seen, you know, with the consistent use of the product. Also, you know, energy levels are up because you're cleansing out your cells. So you're getting rid of a lot of junk. And so people have talked about feeling better and, you know, and restoring that vitality, which I can totally identify with the Asea, because I always thought I had lots of energy until I became a mom. And now I see my life, you know, life through my 4-year-old. And I mean, I can't keep up. I mean, she's crazy. So what I love is that, you know, I give this to her. We call it, you know, she knows the Asea. She knows if she gets a cut, a bruise, a scrape, any kind of thing, or we're out in the sun too long, bring out the Asea. Even my husband he's got some by the bed on his side so he can apply it. So it's a whole family thing. And, you know, Vicki, your skin looks amazing. I mean, really, really amazing. So I love that. I love it because once you start using this, like this little kind of lift, or you notice like the lines, and it's, you know, not so much every woman knows your own face, right? And everyone knows, you know, you know your face. So when you start seeing a difference, it's the best feeling. For me, my husband came in, he goes, "What's with your face?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "It looks younger." I was like, "Oh." What are you trying to say? I looked old before. But, you know, that's kind of what I noticed, was that, you know, just as you get older or you don't get enough sleep, all these things kind of show themselves more visibly. And of course, my mother, she's like, you know, who cares? You're 30, you know, I'm 37 years old. She goes, of course it's easy to repair your skin. I'm mid-60s. And she has a point, but I keep telling her, I keep using that gel lock. And I'm like, let's see it, Mom. So I'm encouraging her to keep using it. And I think, you know, many women, there's a lot on those sites, you know, women of all ages, you know, whatever their skins, you know, looks like, it definitely makes a difference. And like I said, you know your face. So
we've got Louise. Let me just unmute Louise to come in and ask a question, if it'll let me.
Hey. Hi, Louise.
Hi, ladies. Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it. So interesting. I have a question. I have a elderly relative. She's pretty poorly. She does dialysis and heart failure, skin cancer, aches and pains. So I think the energy and the aches and pains would definitely be beneficial here. I'm not sure about the gentleman talking on the video before. He went from renal, not getting onto renal, but the stage 4 to 3. Can it work for people that are further down the line?
Louise, it's as Jen said, we don't ever know what it's going to look like for somebody, but it cannot hurt her. We know that. It's harnessing the power of the body to heal itself. The combination of this gentleness, but powerful, healing ability, which is what it's doing with the body, blew my mind as a naturopath, that you could actually, because we're working with herbs and plant medicines as a naturopath, you have to be really careful because some of them are quite, obviously toxic in high doses. They're heroic. They can be, quite rough on the body, and we need to know what we're doing. With this, you just drink it. And like Jen spoke about, our lovely friend Emma Burwash, the naturopath, who's in the group and is working with us with Asea in the UK, and she in clinic 20 years she's been, and she said, I just love this. It just gets sent to someone's door. They just drink it. You don't have to really explain it. You just get them to drink it. It's so easy for people. And she's somebody who's, like I said, been in clinic for a very long time, working with all different tools. And she also said, right, Jen, her and her husband just get up and race downstairs in the morning before coffee, before anything, give me my Asea. And so we are smart. We know what's good for us. So with your friend, Louise, was it your friend, sorry, or a relative?
Yeah, a relative.
So I'm sorry, your relative. You can perhaps start slowly, and sometimes people just build up over a short while. But I can also, I'm available to help you, with more personal questions and as they get started. But yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no one likes taking pills throughout the day or remembering the pills when you go on vacation. I mean, it's so much faff, and I don't like now that I have Asea. That's why I sent it to my mom and family members. I did have one family member just flat out not take it, and it just drives me up the wall because out of everyone in, he needs it more than anything. I mean, he's got like literally a laundry list of health issues. So it is, sometimes it does take a little bit of pushing, but, because it's astounding to me how many people will line up and dote on what the doctors say or the prescriptions prescribed, or, they can't wait for another medication. And so that's why I love this product, because it's so easy that most people that will try it will get it. And, your cells do start craving it. It's not a hard, when you're doing essential oils or you're trying to prescribe pathic. Emma has talked about this as well. When she's treating patients and has to, try this and do this and do this. It's a lot of work, to follow some kind of health regimen, where this is just bottle, go, drink, or get this blue tube and put it on your face and thank me later.
And thank me later. Exactly.
I've got
thank me later.
I got a quick question from Phil, who's in the chat channel. I'm currently suffering with mild aphasia, possibly due to COVID. So I'm wondering if Asea Redox products will help.
Just have to bring in that disclaimer again. We don't help anything with the C word. In terms of recovery and boosting that resilience and adaptability and just with things that can go on and on that we've been hearing about, this could really help your body be able to get back on track. As we've been saying, it's like the missing link. When we get everything communicating, the body knows whatever it's called, wherever it is, it doesn't matter. Is there a cell involved? And we live and die at the cellular level. So wherever it needs to go, it can help. You can also nebulize Asea, which is really, really great. So who was that asked the question? Sorry, Vic.
That was Phil, but that's quite interesting because we had Haley ask about asthma, and is the product for asthma, is it tablets, cream, etc. So if there is a way, for asthmatics.
So any kind of, sorry, Vic, any kind of chest things or challenges, the gel here, the Renew 28, you can rub that on the chest, and nebulizing the liquid Asea, as I said, and of course drinking it. But we've got outside in with the gel and inside out with the liquid.
I think you can, condition the body to repair itself, and there's nothing better than this Asea. I mean, there's just so many people using it and can feel a difference. Now, will it cure it right away? I'm not a psychic. I don't know, but I do see with, the testimony, the people using it, the people feeling a difference and sharing. And that's why I got on to share with you guys, because the people I love are told daily, that that's just part of getting old. Hell no, we're not doing that anymore. Stop crippling people and making them believe they have to live with a chronic condition. Rheumatoid arthritis, there's no cure. Well, let's keep subscribing a bunch of crap to, that just covers up the main problem, which is, the inflammation of the joints and just cleanse that shit. Get that stuff out. Get rid of the inflammation. Guys, whenever there's any kind of mutation or inflammation inside the body, disease happens, aging happens, deterioration. And what is so damn powerful about this is it cleanses it out. Will it do it overnight? We don't know, but it will work for everybody because we're all made up of cells. And that is what's so amazing about this. There's nothing.
And Jen, actually, health and wellness is really simple, and we've made it so complicated. And the body knows what to do, and it's just getting the poison out. Like you said, the inflammation, it all comes back to the same thing. And that's why we see so many different things that are helped with Asea, because it's actually so simple. All comes back to the basics. Wonderful.
Catherine has a question. How long does a bottle of the drink last, please?
So if you're taking it at the 60 mils twice a day, which is suggested if you want to maintain your current level of health, that will be 1 week. At the 8 ounces, 240 mils a day, that's when your body can start to do the deeper repair. I'm 51, I take 2 bottles a week. So, because that's what I feel and I know is, at 50, you have half of the redox molecules that you do when you're a healthy 13-year-old. And so that's the sweet spot.
I have a question from Hayley. What about children with severe nut allergies? Does the product have any nut ingredients?
That's a great question. And no, it's just made from salt and water, and nothing's added even to make it stable. It will last 15 months from manufacture without needing to be refrigerated. That's once it's sealed at 1 month when you open it, but no, there's nothing else in it.
Watch it heal that allergy.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Yeah. Turn it around, definitely.
Yeah.
Watch all this stuff that we've been conditioned to believe that we have to live with. I mean, we don't. But again, I can't make medical claims without some crazy lawsuit or someone, me, I just attract those things. So I can't not say it either. So I like, any allergy, any kind of asthma, any kind of, pain, joint pain, all this stuff that we're so used to dealing with. It's terrible. And the people that, we all can't live, I always think about like health and wellness. So I did in 2014, I went on, I'm all about the Ayurvedic, yoga retreats in Sri Lanka. And I went to an ashram and I went to Spain. And, I love these kind of things. Not everybody does that. Fair enough. And we all can't live in a perfect, stress-free, toxic-free life. That doesn't exist. Even if you, want to live off grid, you're still going to come up to either some kind of oxidative stress of some sort or some radical in the air or in the body, in the food. So, to assume that we have to live perfect, toxic-free lives is, unmanageable. I also don't like shaming people. If you want to drink or have a cigarette or, eat the bowl of cupcakes or donuts or obviously everything in moderation, but I'm not someone that, believes that you need to admit or omit and live this life, in order to achieve ultimate health and wellness. You have to adhere, to the picture perfect life. It doesn't exist. Who wants to live like that? No dairy, no gluten, no. I mean, gosh, I listen. A guy at the our neighborhood potluck on Saturday, couldn't eat anything. He was like, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free. And I was like, joy-free. I mean, this sounds terrible living like this. And he goes, no, I'm really joyful. And I'm like, yeah, what do you eat? Like, sea kelp daily? That's not sustainable. So, and everybody wants a good night out where they can just enjoy a pint or, fish fry and chips. I mean, I'm not someone that lives on granola and berries. Screw that. Obviously, look at me. But, I've never been that kind of person, even living in California. And I was around a lot of crunchy folks out there, the vegan people that, eat bark and say that they're happy. No, I beg to differ. But the point is that we can still enjoy life and, and we can still, go about our lives learning to cleanse our health and our cells and repair those cells without taking away the things that we love, necessarily. And I'm not encouraging, drinking and junk food and smoking necessarily, but I'm not shaming you either for being normal and human and wanting to enjoy everything. And I say this because firsthand experience, like I've said, this product is personal. My mother has developed every allergy in her microbiome, over the years. She's the doctor. I mean, the idiots she sees tell her, you're allergic to tomatoes. Don't eat cucumber. Don't eat onion, all these things. Oh, because it's too hard on the gut. I'm like, what? It's, an antiseptic, an anti-inflammatory, cucumbers loaded with magnesium and silica. I mean, what quacks anyways? So I gave her this drink because she's now living, eating very minimal, a half-baked potato. And I'm like, Mom, that sounds terrible. So now with the Asea, and you can imagine trying to take supplements on top of, limiting your diet or feeling crap after you eat certain foods. If you enjoy bread, okay, and you're allergic or have a gluten or reaction to it, maybe, okay, you can change the integrity of the bread, but also why don't you change the way your body's responding by nurturing that cellular disrepair before you create that allergy. And this is exactly what I was trying to tell my mom. I gave her the microbiome book to explain how foods can be medicine and that this kind of absolve, all certain food groups and, and try to live a life. I mean, you go anywhere, you always have, is this dairy free? Can I have this, the flourless chocolate? I mean, you don't want to be that guy at, in a party trying to nitpick through food. So I gave this to my mom. And then, like I said, she's not going to take the supplements because they hurt her gut on an empty stomach. She takes the Asea, she can eat what she wants. She went on a vacation and got to eat whatever she wanted. And I thought, well, that's amazing because my mom hasn't been able to do that for years. And I think about how many other people limit themselves or buy sugar-free because they think it's healthier. I roll, where, that is just, but they want to enjoy sweet things. And unfortunately their body has created an autoimmune reaction to certain foods or allergies, which are, or asthma, which is all the body's way of saying inflammation. This isn't working for me. So if we are changing the way we look at how we build back our cells, suddenly, these things don't become as much of an issue. Also people that, with bloating issues, like your body obviously struggles, especially with cheese and dairy. I mean, can you imagine a life without cheese and dairy? How sad and lonely would that be? I mean, even those that try to cut it out, like all the bits, but they still need a bit in their coffee. Again, dairy is sluggish on the gut. I'm not saying make your life of cheese puffs and, bloated dairy milkshake. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying you don't have to shame yourself because you enjoy ice cream, real ice cream, not, vegan crap. No, I'm just kidding. It's not, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to always substitute. When I was in England, the big thing was going, the trends on vegan food. And so I just remember my roommate at the time, snubbing her nose at like real meat, real cheese, and because she wanted the substitutes. And well, did you read the ingredients of the substitutes? They're toxic poison. I mean, garbage with a capital G. And so you're healthier because you're eating some kind of yeast-based, whatever substitute. You have no idea. Or the Impossible burgers. Everybody loves those. Talk about carcinogenic. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in a lot of stuff that we just don't know the effects on. And, they claim to be healthy. And sure, they might they might fit within a regimen, you know, a sugar-free or lowering down cholesterol, or, you know, like traditional advice doctors give for helping to treat diabetes or this or that. But what I love about Asea is it breaks all those, you know, chains. It just says, you know, cellular health is our number one priority. And once you repair the cells, it's amazing how many opportunities you can, to have to feel better.
Can I actually just share a story of one of the earliest people that I put on this? He must be 5-6 years ago now. He was in his 60s and he smoked and drank. This is in Australia. And he just said, I said, I think you really ought to look at this. And he watched a video and he said, yeah, looks great. How do I get it? So he started taking it, and he went to his, a few months later, had a checkup with his doctor, and his doctor did all his organ function testing. And he said, Russell, you should not be this healthy. Your kidneys, your this, your that is all really good. What are you doing? You know? And so, as you said, Jen, it's up to people what they do. And if I can just bring something into their life that's just super easy, takes it in the morning, in the evening, and off you go, you know. And like I said, people take this product like him for years. And so this is, I know this has extended his life and given his family more of him. So it's just a wonderful thing.
Kat, do you know anything about hangovers? Like, as far as this being, you know, treating a hangover? So I haven't actually had a test yet.
That.
Because of course the liver is so important, and we talked about glutathione, which is we synthesize in the liver, and it's so important. And when we drink the molecules, we can use more of our own glutathione and get rid of all of that. Absolutely, it can really help. And of course, rubbing the Renew gel straight onto the liver, you could rub that on anywhere. And yeah, and always you want to drink really good water. We've put in the group, we've put the recipe for how to activate and mineralize your water with a squeeze of lime, some Himalayan salt. But make sure you're drinking really good quality, clean, living water. That will help your body as it's getting all of the toxins out. And if you're asking about that, Jen, of course, being well hydrated too.
There's a girl in our group, our community, guys, that she sells water machines. So I will, I think it's not, I forget the name of it, but it's another Japanese water system. So for those that want to look into the water, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
Water healing. And again, it goes back to the same principles of what we're talking about today, cellular health, and the water that can replenish everything. Kat, do you know anything about the adrenals? Like, so how this might affect adrenals? Again, just kind of detoxing and replenishing the same. Okay.
Same thing. And especially women, you know, we get to the changes in life. And if we've been go and put our adrenals through the ringer, it can be not so comfortable. So it's really important to tone and nurture the adrenals. And is there a cell involved? If there's cells in the adrenal glands, and we can help regenerate and create new healthy cells there. And again, rub the Renew gel above the kidneys where the adrenals are. Beautiful, tonifying, really good.
Yeah, we'll have to wrap this little baby up. It was really fun talking with you guys. I love talking about this stuff. Could do it all day. And I really appreciate those who are listening and hearing what we're saying, because again, look, this is a product that you have to buy, but it's a product that becomes a very closely, I never want to live without it. It's so personal because your cells are personal, your body's personal, the way it functions, you know it. There's no one that knows it better than you. So honor that and try to give it the best you can. So that's why we're here. I am so thankful, even to this day, Kat, that you came and insisted, because I was like, I'm not having it. I don't care about an MLM. I don't want another skin cream. I'm not interested in shilling more BS wellness. I'm like, that's not my MO here. But I'm telling you, this product is not like anything else. It's just not. And when you try it, you'll understand. Hopefully we've given you some foundational understanding. We're happy to share all the science and the patents for you, because again, this company is like so transparent, it's ridiculous. And then the history of the company is also super interesting. We didn't really get into it today, but maybe we'll do it next time. This company does not want anybody taking their thunder. They know what they have. And they're really, really set on making sure that, it's a people to people kind of conversation here. There's no sales gimmick. There's no bought and paid for advertising. There's no infomercials. This is it. This is the real people sharing real stories. And, we can share that link, Kat, with the Redox, all the testimonies there. And I love that we watched that little video. But the most important piece of this is, listening from each other. I'm not here to sell something that is not going to make a dramatic difference. It's making a difference on my life, on my family, and the people I love. So I felt very strongly to share it with you. Please reach out to, us. Kat this is her business. This is her main, thing. And she's amazing. So she knows this company inside out. If there's something she doesn't know, she'll go find it, and she doesn't stop until she does. And I feel so blessed to have had her in my life when she came in, and to be part of, this journey with me for the last 4 months. So thank you, Kat. You are incredible. Honestly. Thank you. Thank
Bless
you.
you, Jen. Love you lots. Thank
Love
you
you.
for so.
So, all right, we're going to end now. So any questions, just give us a message and we'll talk to all of you soon. Thank you.